Thank you for joining me on the channel, Mazarov Tarot. Today is going to be a little different. It's going to be a collective think tank, a conspiracy theory, but going off of my most previous reading, Thinning of the Herd. It's kind of going to be a movie recap, if you will. Now, this is something that I said I was going to do once I got a lot of money. I actually wanted to open up like a inner city community, if you will. But I wouldn't necessarily say that I was in this architect like energy, Aries. But I wanted to have it be like computer screens everywhere, movie day, movie night, and parents with a certain income could bring their children there for a way less price than a daycare center. But my goal was like I wouldn't be able to have like newborns or anything like that. You would have to be like 4 years old and up to go there. And it would be ran like a daycare, if you will. Food would have been served, and I was thinking like $5 to $10 per kid per week type of thing, where they could learn things and so on. But you know, for the older kids, they would have to go to school, right? But it could be like after school, before school program type of thing. But anyway, it was going to be so I could teach the community certain things that I wanted to be able to teach the community. But here we are, because I doesn't have the money to do those sort of things. But the movie that I actually want to talk about, and of course I could use male and female pronouns, but you don't have to be biological male or female to be in either the energies, and so on and so forth, is The Matrix, right? Going off of that thumbnail that I just used. I had previously talked about The Matrix on this channel, and I was talking to Aries. That is why I referenced Aries earlier. In the question that Aries was asking was, who is the devil out of The Matrix? If the Oracle of Delphi, right, is this kind of all-knowing being, and she had a seraph, so on and so forth, a seraphim around her throne, around her house, so on and so forth. And you could play with like a Buddha-like energy if you are Neo, and so on and so forth. But you can't play with her, right? Because she's only there to answer your prayers, your answers, so on and so forth. I mean, not the answers, to give the answers, whatever. But she was like the burning one, more so than God's like energy. But the architect is not God either. The architect, for some reason, is running a program out of somebody's house. But the architect had a higher point of view. And Neo, who is the one, but he is out of order, went to the top, and he met the person at the top of a quote-unquote metaphorical mountain behind the scenes, and he was able to see the whole world. And Neo, being able to see the whole world, started to see that he was a man of the cloth. Okay, unlike myself, right, I am cut from many different cloths. A lot of Black people in the community like to say that, but it's actually a negative, because like I was talking about in that reading, we live in God's country. It is a big church house. I'm already home type of thing. A quote from, or a lyric from Jay-Z, who is Hove, Jehovah, type of thing. But anywho, the one who was running the program was the devil, the architect, the devil. And he gave Neo wisdom. The thing that I was thinking about, and I want to talk about, is the Oracle. The Oracle had Sati, something like that, Sati, in her house. It was a little Indian girl who thought that she was the sun. She wasn't the sun. She wasn't the sun, but people who were familiar with her were in mourning. Now, if you don't know why, it's because Sati is a religious practice that they do in India, where women, self-delete, self-harm themselves. Sati was in the Oracle's house asking repeatedly, could she come back? Could she please come back? She wanted to be able to come back because someone knew her. But the women that would have did that would have been not childish. They would have had childish understandings and been under some program that was taught to them by their mother and father. Um, but the thing that I thought was so sad, if you will, is Seraph in the Oracle's home was an Asian man, and Asian people and Indian people are of one community. When the Oracle, the second Oracle, the darker Oracle, was there, before she had an inside job, if you will, with her child, her children, the police or whatever state, she was making cookies. That's how the cookie crumbles, right? That's a saying from Bruce Almighty. And I'm going to get to that in a second. Who that's referencing. She gave little Sati a cookie, and Sati started begging because she come back, and the Oracle was really sad. And she's like, I miss that. I miss those smells. I miss those sights. I miss that. Right? But Seraph, who I feel is like advanced technology, the all-seeing eye, but it was an Asian eye. He would have represented the entirety of Asia, was holding on to Sati when the police state, the Oracle's children, approached and wanted to get rid of that. The police was the negative, positive energy. It was negative because what would have caused Sati to become in the first place? What would have created that practice or religion? Would have been colonizers who would have taught that practice to them. But regardless, the police state was trying to get rid of the memory of that practice, the memory of those people, if you will, that Asian man was holding on to. He couldn't let go of Sati. He couldn't let go. The Oracle said, I hope that you come back. I don't know. But that was kind of interesting. The thing that I also thought was interesting is that one scene where Morpheus, he's being held by the police state, and out of nowhere, Neo comes in his helicopter that is being flown by the Trinity. The Trinity is also the one of one. It would have been a battle between the Trinity and Neo, who was out of order, to be the one. It would have been a battle because the Trinity is already the one. Is she not? And then Neo also coming up and being taken underneath the Trinity's wings, if you will. But he shoots up the place. But the thing that I thought was so sad is that the actual police officers were real people, if you remember. They were under the spell of Morpheus. They had morphosized. Morpheus would have also been the Oracle's child. Because when he started shooting, you could see that police energy get off of them. They stopped being the man in suits, and you could see the man in just a police vest, so on and so forth. And it was just an innocent bystander that did not know, I guess, what was controlling its mind, body, and spirit. But Neo, being the one that's out of order, he did not care. He did not care, see, because the issue with Neo is that he did not care about getting rid of any of the programs, meaning racism, sexism, hunger, starvation, rape. He didn't care about anything like that. Neo only cared about programs that were going to get in his way from being the one. I didn't see Neo or any of them fight any battles. But Morpheus, when Neo shot up all the innocent police officers that were being possessed by a spirit, Morpheus, leaped. He did a quantum leap into the airplane. But then they had predictive programming where all the helicopters, all the airplanes kept going through buildings in New York City. But it confused me because I was thinking about it and I was going, if their philosophy in the Matrix is the whole setting is fake, it's not Israel. It's fake. We are real. We are Israel. Us, little groups of people. We are the chosen. That airplane should have not crashed, and that airplane should have not been damaged by those bullets. Another philosophy I didn't understand is that the motherfuckers would walk slowly when bullets would be shot. Neo would do this if he wanted you to stop shooting. You need to put down your guns. You need to put down your bullets. What for? Don't shoot at the person like me. I'm untouchable. But going off the Bible, which the Matrix is based off the Bible, if Neo was untouchable, he would have actually been a murderer. The only person that was untouchable was Cain, and it was a curse. Because he had killed somebody that was able-bodied. And how you know it's based off the Bible is because Morpheus, when he takes him to the back to see from the beginning is the end, it was a desolate, dry place with no water. They had killed the sun. The ending would have been the beginning. You know that one scene where the church kills the son and they realized that they actually did kill somebody that was important. And the whole city state crumbled, but they said they did it because of a system, a religious system, I don't know, a program. If you've watched The Matrix. But they're both being chairmen. Why? The thing that was so weird is Neo became Inside Job. I've watched the cartoon of Inside Job, but I think there's actually a movie called Inside Job where it's like live action. He would jump into the program and take it over and destroy it from the inside out. Neo. I don't think anybody wants to be Neo because he is out of order. And I don't want to be Trinity either. Trinity don't know that she the one. I mean, they get to that on the fourth part, but she don't know that she the one. She don't know that she the one because everybody's looking for a man. It's a boys' club. But Morpheus likes to do this over his groins to let you know that he is not of the flesh. He knows about bone. You guys, side note, I was looking at the pelvis, and for some reason I was going, what's a pelvis? That thing would have came down from a high place, being a pail of water. Jack and Jill went up the hill and got a pail of water. Either that's the womb or that's the groin. But I also started thinking about Elvis. Of course. He just took the pee off that shit. Peed on a cracker. I don't want a cracker. But so he could dance like Bobby Brown because he can move his hips. Is that what they said? He started doozing. I have no idea what Elvis started doozing. But I did think that was strange. What else did I want to touch on? They replaced the Oracle. They replaced it. And they got replaced. She kept getting perpetually darker. But I feel like that was a metaphor. Things are getting darker and darker. Someone starts to only know darkness as Mother. Mother Earth. She probably was Christian. If it's not Israel, it's fake, according to the devil. The devil, with a high point of view, would have told Neo, yeah, that's my wife. That's not his wife. That would have also been his mother. And he would have also said, she's not real. You don't need to believe in her. You need to believe in me. Fight with me because you think I'm God or you want to be Jacob or something. Yeah. But I don't know. What else? I forget. What's I want to talk about? The Indian man. Chinese man. Remember this scene of The Matrix where the police officer, I forget his name in the movie, but he's like a parasite. You get all through your air and all your hair and your mind and take over your body with his laws and his commandments, trying to keep everything in order with a codex. And Morpheus, who to me looks like Isaac Asimov or something. I'm only offering you the truth. What's your last answer? Yes or no? They had the Chinese man that had the master keys. And he can go through any door he wants. But if you look closely, when they're fighting on top of that semi in transit, Yes, you see toxic power plants in the background, but Morpheus is dressed like a casino. What are they called? When the person is dealing the cards. But it made me start thinking about like that semi could have been filled with chips, right? Since he's dressed like that and chips come from China. And Morpheus was willing to down that semi to make sure that that master key, I don't know if it's hermeticism, was saved and got to stay. Morpheus started fighting battles that wasn't even his own. Trying to save a Chinese man. I ain't see that Chinese man save one black person. That whole thing. That one seraph couldn't let go of Sati, so he couldn't even save the Oracle. Because he thought that the thing to do was to hold on to Sati. He didn't even hold on to the Oracle. He got destroyed in the process. Trying to redeliver some dead girl in a cookie. Neo ended up being a blind man. Firing people, having people heated. Feeling his way through because he couldn't see. Still. Trinity's going, it's so beautiful up here. Neo blind in a motherfucking bat. You can't see. How is Neo the one and he out of order? How can the one out of order choose the Trinity that's out of order? They all would have been out of order. Everything would have been out of order. Starting from the very beginning with Morpheus. You chose a program to be the one. The program was a white savior. Run by some Anderson. Who's a programmer. Living a double life. On one end, he was a programmer that would help his landlady take in all her bread. And on the other end, he lived in a fantasy world where only he was real. Because he knew the code and you don't. Probably was an attorney. But he got to know God as a woman. But he did not get to know God as a man. No. He had so many fairies in his life. Morpheus is some type of changeling. If you ask me. That's not my son. So Angelina Jolie has salt, kid says. Or in God's country. That's not my son. Her son's beautiful. Knox or something. I want to talk about something else because I was looking up the Da Vinci Code. I was looking up the character's name. And Tom Hanks' character who has a private island where he thinks that nothing is real. Because he's the only true man. His name was Robert Langley. Langley, I believe, has something to do with CIA, FBI, the Alphabet Boys. But I don't like the Alphabet Boys. But Robert on Supernatural is God. Well, he's not God. They call him God. He calls himself Chuck. But off of that, I started thinking about Scarface, right? Because Scarface births the Godfather. And there's a pivotal moment where we actually get to see the actual Godfather. His name is Alexander Sosa. And if you have been following me for a while, I have said this before. I used to pray and pray and pray that I looked like Alexander. But Alexandria in Colombia, Sosa, he was actually based off of a real person named Robert Gomez. He had a garden. They had a table, a supper, with a wise police officer, a godfather, and the creator of the garden, who didn't leave his garden. But he had people of many different cloths. Drugs, any kind of drugs. I'm pretty sure they put meth and cocaine in certain pills. It's come from that house. So it's okay if a pharmacy has a crack house or a meth house. But you can't, because you doesn't have a piece of paper that says I serve the Lord. You probably serve the block or serve the base for the fuck of it. You serve the community? I don't know who the fuck you serve. The master masons, man, those 33s, they don't serve God. They serve Jesus. They serve what they feel is right and just. They don't care about no commandments. They'll steal too. They won't be the fall guy, no. They will not take the blame. No. They want all the praise. In life or in death. They want to go on and on and on by their name. Johnson and Johnson and Johnson is Johnson and Johnson is Johnson. Who the fuck even care about who's Johnson? But anyway, they had breakfast with Emily swallowing shit. He didn't like that wise man. He got a phone call in the garden. He took that motherfucker to the top of the view out the helicopter and hung him like Judas. Tony didn't care. Tony Chad do not give a fuck. He feel like he the one. But in the end, the real God in the garden wanted to take out Tony's boyfriend and his sister with her afro. Because when he was asked to kill that white family, Tony said he didn't want to. Peter on a cracker. But the God in the garden said, get rid of that shit. I don't care about Carmen. Get rid of it. They didn't serve the base. They didn't serve that God anymore. They wanted to be a God. And have a legacy called The Sopranos. Because I was talking about The Voice once. And I said I got ice at the end. Ice to me it's cold. It's loud. I don't know why, but I started thinking about Ice Caps, which is up north, like Caucasian. What did that boy say? I don't know if this is immortal. I don't know how to do it. I don't have to add. Oh, The Sopranos. The Sopranos was The Voice. Godfather. Was that Tony? What was his name on The Sopranos? He died. He died at a pizzeria? At a cafe? I don't know. I think his whole family got fucked up. At least traumatized. But they fade black in that motherfucker. Cause when that motherfucker over, it's over. That's what they think. That's what they say. They say, but I don't think so. I thought we was looking for a new world order. But the order that we got, let there be light, governing, is so old. It's like 1.25 billion years old. When we gonna get a new order? I want to be the person who want to order up. I want to place my orders. I want to place it wherever fuck I want and be already home everywhere. That's what Aaliyah said on the Queen of the Damn. My home is anywhere. My home is everywhere. They would have killed a god. They would have killed a black god and they would have placed it with some redhead white woman. Because she seemed fair. What about her seems fair that she would bleed out her leader, her God, her maker, her creator? What about her seems fair? That 33 shit. I don't want to serve God. Because serving God would get rid of something. Queen Elcasha wasn't racist. She get rid of black and white. She didn't give a fuck. It was all bad. They betrayed her. Even her white man. After he got blessed and he could go into the sun and come out his cave, he stopped being a knight. He betrayed her. And turned her ashes to ashes. He would have turned her into Elon Musk's white son. She would have got reborn again. Probably being a demon lord. I don't know what it is. Well, I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about Sex and the City. I never watched Sex and the City, believe it or not. If I start watching Sex in the City, I'm probably watching a porno, prostitutes, succubus, incubus, orgy porgy. I'm probably watching something that I'm not supposed to watch. At least not on regular TV. Why is it Sex in the City? It's not Sex in the Country. I don't know what it is. They Sex in the City. That's in a Big Apple. That's big forbidden. You know what's big forbidden? Nobody told them kinds to start hanging out with each other. Nobody told them to start hanging out with each other being sexy and ugly. But they filthy rich. They dirty, got a lot of gross income. That's Disturbia. Y'all like Friends? Since I'm just rambling now. Before I gotta go leave out and go get me something from the store. Feminine products. Friends. Joey, Eric, Courtney look like vampires. They're super pale. They have black hair. There's two blondes. One's don't have no mother, don't have no father. One last name is Greenwich. She is a county or a place? Isn't she? Is her name Rachel Greenwich? She lives in Greenwich. She believed that that place is all hers because it got her name on it. But it's a Greenwich. That's wicked. That's where what's her name came from too. What was her name? Bassett. That was married to John F. Kennedy. She would have took a whole plane of existence down. Have something to do with the Atlantic. Slave trade. Talking about I got married in the slave quarters. So Chuck is not God. Chuck is a knight. Chuck is a knight. He's not the son. No. How can he be the son? White son. Oh. And he likes to declare something. D ain't W. He likes to be with Claire. Is that supposed to be Amara? Amara is Claire. It's a Claire image. It's a Claire view. So he likes to be somewhere with a high point of view. I don't have that point of view. I ain't never made it to the top. 2P. I ain't never made it to the 2P. Excuse me. What other movies I like? Let me see. What's a metaphorical movie everybody like? Saul is a demigod. They think it's Russian. Spy. Somebody would have put, a Russian would have put salt in the water. Salt? She's a pillar of salt. She looked back once. What she looked back to? Some fuck shit from her childhood. I don't know what fuck her did. Going down or up some stairs. I can't remember. New Jack City. Baby, New Jack City got something to do with the end of Supernatural. That nigga supposed to be Wesley Snipes. I don't know who that white boy is from the end of Supernatural where he get on his white jacket. But that's now New Jack City. Or New Jack World or New Jack something. If I'm concerned, excuse me, if I'm 100% certain, that's supposed to be a black nigga named Wesley Snipes that wants to beat the fuck out of a fruit. He ain't like Halle Berry talking. She come from Liverpool, some white woman. And also, she's sexy. That's Sex in the City. Just Hilarious and Lauren are singing The Job Is Mine off the Breakfast Club because Rob Benedict. That got something to do with the devil and God. Say, no, that Job is mad. That Job is mad. Did you teach them chickens how to run? Chicken is church. The architect sure the fuck didn't. But you got a messy individual. I don't know. They're supposed to be Messiah, but it's Jessica Rabbit, and then gonna be a little Trinity or something. I'm late. It's late to go down a she-hole and mess with some queens of hearts. And then you got Lauren. It's a reef. It's a gold reef. But they both replaced Angela Yee. That's a seraph. None of them is the Oracle. They would still need the Oracle to clarify something. So do you think the Oracle is one of those 7 deadly sins called the DJ Envy? Or Charlemagne the God? One of them is CGI. And was once DJ Envy for Wendy Williams, whose husband Kevin wanted to hover over those waters, called Sharina Hudson. And now they won't let the word out, aka Wendy Williams. www. They won't let it out. They won't let the air out. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? It doesn't matter. It is an heir to a throne. They want you to be Statue of Liberty, but nobody got no goddamn liberty. You got to be out of your mind. So you got CGI up there that they listen to. Or a 7 deadly sins called DJ Envy, which is a motherfucking Mexican Puerto Rican. Taking somebody's dream, doing hip hop as a salsa dancer. Now, I don't know how you dance dip, but you probably do. The Tangerine for the fuck out. I thought salsa go with chips. Excuse me. I don't want to get a whole bunch of you morphin' ass niggas that want to be everything but a nigga. I don't want to get y'all panties in a bunch. Because I start making fun of motherfucking Mexicans. You ain't gonna stop me from making fun of a motherfucking Mexican. They ain't never been my motherfucking friend. They only my friend if it's beneficial. Don't you dare fix your lips to call me a motherfucking nigga. I don't give a fuck if we both on a stoop. Don't you dare. I'ma up your shit. Because if I start calling you a spick, I'm fucking racist and I don't give a fuck. I was here first. They say the Bible says, do not abolish the righteous. White people try to curse you by giving you your freedom. By taking it away in the first place, acting like they are God. They out of order. And they bitch out of order. They bitch got amnesia. She don't know shit. Trinity had to ask a black nigga with dreadfully deformed informed. And the Judas nigga talked about, if I could just have one more piece of steak, I'll trade in all of you. Or Morphin ass. Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Don't know what the fuck he want to be. I had a dream last night. I was talking to my Uncle Michael in my dream, but he thought he was little baby. Ishmael or Hagar, nigga. Both of them motherfuckers was little baby. I know why Brenda had a baby. Some bitch named Saray. Gonna take over somebody's anatomy. Fetching a pail of water, talking about you can sleep with her, didn't even ask her. But I thought Egyptians was the worst. How Egyptians the worst? I ain't never heard no story nowhere where Egyptian raped a motherfucker. But in your Christian Bible, your beginning founding fathers raped a fucking Egyptian woman. And her son got so fucking mad, he became a bush. He just took over a bush. Start talking through that motherfucker. Saying leave. And destroy those that let my mama go through that Tamar. It's personal sometimes. As the world turns. What does the world turn to? Bold and beautiful. I don't like those cap locks. I don't like those warlocks. I don't like Capricorn doing that. No, I ain't asked Capricorn to do that. They say on the Breakfast Club because Rob's Benedict and he want to be chucked. And Benedict is a goddamn breakfast baby. I don't got nothing to do with Tiffany. Talk about who y'all think is better. Y'all think Lauren, if you know that show, do you think Lauren is better, or do you think Jess Hilarious is better with her messy ass? Messed up, Jess with the messed up. I can't read. She can't pray. Lauren can read. She can read. She's well informed. She does her research. Y'all like DJ Envy. Y'all like a DJ that's gonna make you envious. Or at least program your mind to be envious. That's his last name. What the fuck else he gonna do? That's a 7 deadly sin. Why the fuck would you want your name to be envious? Sit next across the thing from a god. An African god. 3 African gods up in that fucking place. And y'all want to be controlled by motherfucking Mexican envy. Charlamagne the God want to fit in so motherfucking much. They said he bleached his goddamn skin. Baby, that got something to do with Chinese motherfuckers. Don't it? Isn't there an anime called Bleach? Wendy Williams once has the air got into it with Whitney Houston, the voice, the black voice, died in the bathtub like Azazel. But she got into it with it because of Bobby Brown. Her power to be. Put her motherfucking ass on cocaine. I don't know what for it. They ain't like that. They ain't like that. They wanted to get Wendy the air out of there. They start making fun of it, talking about on the low it look like a man. Of course, it's a man. But on the top it's got big tits. It's probably about me. It's probably gonna tell you up or down, bitch. Kevin. I think Beyonce my mama. I think Beyonce my mama. I got my Kira come at the end of motherfucking Mufasa, baby. I keep trying to watch Mufasa. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I have not tried to watch Mufasa one time. I looked at Mufasa's trailer and thought I'm not into it. Stop trying to make me be something. My family crest is not a fucking lion. It's not. What the fuck? I'm not a beast. I'm not that beast. Nah. I ain't never been good enough at doing bad to be a beast out here. Let me see what y'all like. I like the Joker. What's the Joker's punchline? The Oracles. It's not Suicide Squad, but it is. It's an honorable thing to do. I could not do it. The fuck? That's a joke. Because I don't know who the fuck the devil talking about he married. What? And it's being possessed easily with a finger bang from a police officer? Hell nah. Get the fuck out of my face. Oh, yeah. When Sosa, the almighty Chief Keef, Tony Montana was sitting there with the policeman before he got took to the top of the mountain and started getting hung. What was I about to say? Yeah. They was having breakfast, yes. I forget, my brain went blank. Let me see. Y'all like Thor? Oh, I had a dream about my uncle Michael. I had told him to get all those motherfucking villains out of my house. That nigga was bound by some motherfucking off-white motherfucking criminal tape. Bound up like a motherfucking pig hog. He tried to expose my breast. instead of doing what I asked. Backstabbed and fucking betrayed me. He's a pig. The people that he sided with knew he was a pig. His body would have been the body. Michael's body would have been the body. Somebody else would have tried to come in there and get his motherfucking body. His bodies, my bodies, all of your bodies. I don't know Joker's personal name. Pledge of Allegiance. A pledge is for money. The IRS, that church can come take your money because you pledge allegiance, cross your heart, and hope to die. You probably gonna hold to die because Elon Musk diversifying, or not. You probably gonna hold to die because slave. You let a wise man come in, take your house, and then you worship a 33 who do not believe in God. He believes in whatever self-righteous acts he wants to do. And then want to tell you it's better for the community. How the fuck do we have a slew of doctors that all make 6 figures or more to 50% kill you or 50% kill you? Okay? Those common side effects sound serious. I be going sometimes that sound crazy. Sometimes you're better off just taking a motherfucking smoke break because your back hurt. I'm ready to sit down, citizen. I don't know no Thaddeus. Who was Thaddeus? Is that a person in the Bible? I started hearing that motherfucker earlier. Thaddeus. He a person in the Bible. Yeah, I think it was at the Last Supper. His name ain't D. D is Thaddeus. He wasn't us. I don't know who that is. But whoever that is, if you think he's supposed to have a seat at my table, you fucking foreigner. I don't know who you are. Get the fuck up off my table. I want the money. Jesus had an ulterior fucking motive. What do you think his motive was since he started doing things in his honor? Why did they let that little Indian think that it was the son off the Matrix? Why did she think that? Do not think that. No one should think that there's a fucking burning, fiery one. Probably plaguing. I don't know if I plague. I don't like it. Bruno Mars. So we know that the devil is the architect and he's running the church houses. So you pledge allegiance to give your motherfucker money and allegiance with the Star Spangled Banner. That Star Spangled Banner is not a flag. It's a banner because they don't ever want somebody to rise up and says, I'm sick of this flag. But they call it the flag. But it's got to be a banner. What's a banner? David, what is it? David had temple prostitutes, male and female. Since this whole thing is a church, everybody's supposed to have something on their head all the time. Because that's the only way God would have knew that you was not a temple prostitute, male or female. The only difference is if you was a male temple prostitute, it was sacred. If you was a female temple prostitute, you just was a harlot or a prostitute. But if you was a male prostitute, it was something called a sacred. I don't like sacred. I don't know what Beyonce is trying to teach you bitches with your hair cares, but you probably need to put some pencils on your head because that's a sacred secret. You want me to put you motherfuckers in the no? You ain't gonna have no energy to keep going. Cause once upon a time, over time, we started doing those jobs on creatures built out of dust. Pharaohs, a sphinx, or something, you pussycats. Boys, girls. But we don't want you bitches know. Yes? I work at McDonald's, like I said before. They be trying to be super helpers. I have my own super helpers, black people, and then white men have their own super helpers, whites. But they super helper white women want to get in my motherfucking way. My black super helpers do not get in the white woman or the white man's way. White women will turn on you. I just noticed it today. If they're working as a team and they fucked up, but the outcome is their fuck up gets put up first so it looks right, they will take the credit without announcing that they fucked up and doing what they did first wrong. But the person that did right, the black person, who it just didn't come up first in order, they'll turn and say, we didn't need that because mine was here first. But theirs was done improperly and wrong. But they'll throw you straight under the bus, I swear, to save them own skin. I am not like that. Now, it's not that I would take a bullet for the team. As a person working together, leading or something, if somebody fucks up and we're on the same team, it's like I made the mistake as well. White people do not feel that way. Why? Probably because their white man probably will come down with the hammer harder than I would. Because he don't give a fuck about her, them, or I. And we'll have to start fighting. I ain't never scared and I will never lose. I don't even fuck. I will never lose to a man. Bitch, you're gonna have to be harder than that. Me and all my ancestor women have a lot of practice fighting with men. I once got hit in the face with my Uncle Michael's hammer. MC Hammer supposed to lose all his money. He can keep his jeans. Don't nobody want those motherfuckers that hang too goddamn low. But he want to be a crab so goddamn bad, moving side to side like that. It must not a Cancer sign. Lightning, my friend, is a water sign. This just got to be a water sign. I do not think that he's a Scorpio. And I do not think that he's a fish, because that's Poseidon. So what do you think Zeus would be, since lightning is the water sign? It's not an earth sign. I don't think it's an air sign. You don't just perpetually look up to the sky and start seeing lightning going, it's airy, windy outside. That's a lot of water signs. Scorpio was probably hell. Devil. What else I want to talk about? Oh, Death from Supernatural started telling Dean, I'm so sick of the devil. I'm older than the devil. Some spoiled brat. And because of a stupid clause, I've been doing all the devil's work. Hurricanes, disasters, all this stupid shit. I can relate. You don't gotta believe me. I had a dream last night that I was a Chinese woman living in a motherfucking high-rise, doing my eyebrow makeup, thinking I was better than everybody else because I was going to have a job in the United States, or I did have one. Now, everything done fell apart over there in Asia. Angel Heart. Let's get an Angel Heart. Sirens. Don't they? Who? Who's got the angel's heart? Who do the angels love? Men? Angel Heart would have not been an angel. He would have just been a man. Loving an angel wants, having his heart broken. But he started having knowledge, and he started forgetting knowledge, or he started losing. I don't know what he started losing. They made you think that he was an angel. He couldn't be. They said it's the angel's heart. Either he stole somebody's heart once. They tried to make it sound like it was his heart. Okay. I don't know who you love. I don't know who the fuck love the Taurus. Well, it's been long enough. I'm trying to stretch it out. But that's all I got for you lovely individuals. That sounds nasty. And I'm trying to stretch it out, not Summer Walker. I think I'm a Sumerian. I guess a Cancer sign would be Sumerian. I'm in the summer. I was born in the summer. That time frame would be based off the Sumerians. Sumerians are black. They're black individuals. They didn't come after the fall. No, they came before that. And also, they came after something sprung up once. That would have been the first man. Because the first thing I see spring up in the motherfucking Bible got something to do with the wall and some trees and shit. And some water fountains. Oh, what's way? They like to call them Anunnaki. Is that Enochian? What's Anunnaki? Nuns taking orders. Nuns, Whitney Houston wanted to be a nun so bad. She named her son King of the Hill Jr. She named her son, her daughter Bobby Christina. I know Christina. She do nails like a phoenix. Angel Heart. Let me say something. No one's take a pledge to the Pope or to God. Okay. I need the Pope to go out there and tell me what God to him serve. Say a name. Say a name. Say my name. I need the Pope to go out there and say something. Somebody need to say something. I'm tired of shit being a motherfucking mystery. I don't give a fuck if you start saying the T to hit the ground. I don't give a fuck if you say Allah. I don't give a fuck if you say Shiva. I don't give a fuck if you say Almighty Sosa. I don't give a fuck. Somebody need to go out there and start saying something other than Jesus. You need to start saying somebody's name. You need to say it. Since the Pope talking about he know. What's his name? Say my name. What's his name? Why do y'all just listen to the Pope? He ain't one time tell you nobody's name. He tell you the same information. Say my name. Say it. Since he know. Because as soon as I answer a phone call, if I'm not asking who the fuck is this, and I'm asking who is it back for clarification to make sure it's on a secure line, then I don't know who you fucking talking to. If he can't say a name that's unspeakable because he done talked to the God so motherfucking much that it's speakable to him now, then him a fucking liar. And I don't know who you serving with your nice houses and shit. Your nice dresses. Fuck your dress. Bitch got something. What she got is Deliria. Dystoria. I'll keep that bitch having nothing. Listen, I think the Pope has nothing. So, I don't know. He need to start saying something. He did. You think it's Francis? From Good Omens. Bitch, Francis comes from Arthur. That's the end matter. He would have been put up for the slaughter. Why? Gross. Look at his tongue. So, what? He wasn't even a bear witness. Only Brian was bear witnessing. He was not bear witnessing nothing about them white people. He kept saying something about Kwanzaa. What? I'm just waiting for the Pope to say somebody's motherfucking name out here. I'm waiting for somebody to say something. They started talking about the Pope. I don't give a fuck about the Pope. You think I give a fuck about Seraph? Talking about his Toshiba's plugs? I don't care. I have my own plug problems. Say something. You better say Beyonce. You better start saying somebody. Jehovah, Elijah, I don't give a fuck. You better start saying something. Otherwise, I'm going to call you a liar. I'm going to call you a false prophet and a bear false witness. I don't give a fuck. You got to say Kobe? You got to say something. Kendra? You got to say something. Something. Because at this point, I'm calling you a bluff. I don't give a fuck. So, Godspeed. God bless. Bye. Oh, hold on. Dionysus talking about get drunk, turn water to wine. I don't know why the fuck that bitch is dying, Dion. I don't know why the fuck Neo look like a motherfucking Toy Story with his legs up like that. I start seeing my kids play motherfucking Barbie fights with Neo. I promise you, through half the Matrix. And they needed me to come up there and says, stop playing with your brother's motherfucking G.I. Joes. You know, Godspeed. God bless. Bye.